Hi peoples, how is it going? Welcome to another podcasteroo. We're going to give you some answers today with the Angel Oracle cards. And it's going to be fabuloso. Welcome to Libra season. What is it? Today is the 20... Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Today's the 23rd. Yeah, Friday the 23rd. I'm just looking at the time. Okay, so we're doing it. Are we doing this for tomorrow, or are we doing this beginning with tomorrow's 3 o'clock? Okay, no. Okay, so we're beginning with today's 3 o'clock into tomorrow. So basically it is Friday, September 23rd, which is my personally labeled feng shui day of, basically it's children and creativity, and also I labeled it the future, transitionally speaking. So, okay. Thank you, Spirit. And so, what I have to say is, so that's for today at 3 o'clock. So this reading is for today at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time into 3 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time, where tomorrow morning, basically into the afternoon up until 3, is my personally labeled day of, my personally feng shui labeled day of, what is it called? Helpful people in travel, bitches, okay? So today, I like to have this day, more so like, have it be filled with rainbow colors, but to me the color orange stands out for it. Transitionally that's transitionally is the orange. I forget, I think it's like it can be, this one's a bit confusing in terms of, oh shit, I almost fell. In terms of, so 18, what are we gonna call, okay, 18 is saying orange, so we're calling it orange to just be more simple about it. And then tomorrow's color is white and gray. Okay. Alright. So, highest and best and most joyous Yang card for today. Thank you. Yin card for today. Thank you. They really wanted to pop out. I'm literally letting you know that there is, interestingly enough, very high vibes today. Even if Spirit says on Spirit says on the bottom, if you believe, right? And okay, I just have to step away for a second. So it says if you believe. That's what Spirit is coming through. Like, if you believe that. So I do believe that today is a good day, no matter what the fuck is going on. I know a little bit of crazies are going on in terms of just like having to fight off the demons of other people and just energies. And you know, something that I wanted to talk about was somebody had posted of, in the area that I live in, there was somebody who had literally caught on camera a dolphin jumping out of the water on our beaches. But the whole thing is that like never happens. And her like post, like her commentary to the post was, I've been here 30 years, never ever have I seen this before. And I said, dude, it's so crazy. And my commentary back was, wow, what a freaking blessing, first of all. Second of all, like, I was always wondering to myself, like, what would it take for like dolphins to fucking jump out of the water with, like, you know, super glee and pure joy and all that jazz, right? And today was one of those days where this person like walks on the beach in the mornings, and I guess she saw that. But here's the thing. Reading the other commentary was really funny, because somebody had said, like, the dolphin may just be, you know, like kind of like out of there due to a shark being around, right? And what's funny is that I'm like, it's not impossible, right? Like, it's more so like the dolphin could, and because this dolphin looked like babyish too, like a baby dolphin, like a young dolphin. So the whole thing is, it's like maybe it was like kind of what's the word? And that's been coming up, like skittish, right? And it was just, it fucking was like, ah, and fucking jumped out of the water and kept on going because it literally was flying like out of the water, but then the speed of it was fucking insane. And so long story short, I was thinking to myself, I was laughing, I'm like, that could be it too, you know, where I just feel like, put it this way, but in either case, right, it's a damn good blissful thing that the fucking dolphin was able to get away, right? So what I wanted to say here was, and it's so funny because these cards are coming out, like, if I'm going to take them on a real note, like, they're not that great, right? Like, they're like, okay, they're like real, they're more real, you know? And so, and maybe I shouldn't compare real to not that great, but because real is really like, it's, I'm going to say it's the darker form of love, which is still love, and is super appreciated by those that can handle it, but really by those that can't, it kind of like looks like a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is there's like some real love coming through, which is really good. You know, let's not think about it in a toxic way, because I don't deal with that toxic love at all, even if I am a realer person, you know what I'm saying? But so, because again, like I said, there's a difference between low vibrational darkness and high vibrational darkness, and I only, like, if I'm meant to fuck around with the high vibrational ones, I will, like, in terms of just being real, I'll you know, I'll definitely stand by it, you know what I'm saying, because I appreciate anything that can warn me of oncoming things, you know, in a real way, so that I can know how to, like, you know, exit, you know, make my way out of there. So my whole thing is, I'm a super big believer, and also not only that, but like, if somebody were to come at me in a quote-unquote type of negative way, I feel like it will give me the opportunity to dig a little deeper in terms of like, what the fuck is there that they're seeing that I'm not seeing, to then allow me to make some decisions about myself in terms of, you know, do I change myself up a little bit? Do I fix this about myself, is what I'm trying to say. And or do I just love myself more because of it, right? Like, those are your options. So yeah, so your options and your choices, you know. And so long story short, that could be coming through today too, in terms of somebody might be like rubbing you the wrong way, but it's kind of like you're either meant to discuss it a little further, to dig a little deeper, and or you're meant to just like let it all go, in terms of you just knowing that your priority here is literally to learn the lesson and then be gone, be out, right? So again, you could be the dolphin kind, you know, a kind dolphin, the dolphin kind of person, you know, in terms of being like super happy, super like joyous, social, whatever. But, you know, it doesn't mean that we don't go through bullshit either. And if anything, high-vibing people, I think, go through a lot more fucking bullshit that people give them credit for, that we have to basically declutter within ourselves and outside of ourselves. So it's kind of like, you know, we all kind of have, not the same issues, but like, life is going to give us humans the same basic issues, right? Whether we go through it in this lifetime or another lifetime, you know, we end up, there's a meme that I like that I posted a while back, I don't know where, but it said something like, we're all meant to reincarnate into different cultures so that we can one day fucking realize, you know, about each other's cultures and unite in that way, right? And I found that so fascinating. But I'm like, yeah, what if that was the truth? That would kind of fucking make a lot of sense. You know, you're constantly reincarnating into different types of people and cultures and, you know, sexes and this and that, just to kind of be able to declutter a lot of the fucking bullshit around all of it. Thank you, Spirit. That was a confirmation. So we're going to say that it's that way, but it did feel true. It did feel right. There's a lot of healing going on today with Archangel Raphael's green energy. So I feel like within the heart, there's a lot of healing going on. But also, you know, let's take green with the gold. That's really, thank you, Spirit, that's really high vibing healing going on, of which you might, if you're very sensitive to energies, you might have felt that into it, like coming in last night's energies. So I don't know, again, maybe it's because of, you know, the fact that last night is, you know, it was the 22nd, and literally, you know, Libra energies kind of started kicking in. So, you know, I just felt really all good vibes in terms of just like interesting, like how it kind of feels like holiday-ish. It kind of feels like, you know, that the people that haven't seen, you know, their rewards in a long time are going to get somehow rewarded, like justice, right? This is the justice type of season. Amen to that. So, you know, Libra season is a justice card in the tarot, which makes a lot of sense. So a lot of people are going to, if you've been doing your best and you know, you're not like bullshitting about it, like, you know, you've been doing your best. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that say it but are not like that. I'm saying if you're the people that are doing your best day in, day out, just to fucking do what your soul's fucking mission here is on earth, and you've been trying to do your fucking best, and not even trying, like literally at it, doing your best every fucking day, you know? Even if you're down a couple of times, it doesn't fucking matter. You like still somehow fucking with the gift and glory of God, you fucking pull through, you know? So what I'm saying is, if you're that type of person, you literally will be getting your justice out of this season for sure, okay? Now, here's the thing. We haven't even gotten into the cards. I feel like, here's what the cards are saying. There was something about the heart chakra, but I also feel like something with the gold. I wanted to say like there was like, there's more so like a high vibrational healing of the heart going on, turning all of the healing into gold. It's kind of like, what's that children's book, talk about children and creativity today? Is it Rumpelstiltskin? Is it Rumpelstiltskin with the one that kind of, what is it? They alchemize the hair into gold or something like that, or they spin the hair into gold. I don't know. But I really, by the way, also, I feel like that has a lot to do with ropes. And I'm talking about like, you know, like not the henna ropes, what are they called? The weed ropes, what is it called? Hemp, yeah, thank you. So they're called hemp ropes, right? So I feel like it has a lot to do with that too, and I don't know why, but I feel like maybe it's also like an unspindling of some chaosness, which, by the way, can look bad in the moment that it's happening, but you know it's for the greater good that you're putting the fight in for, right? So I just want to tell you that there's a decluttering of the heart going on in terms of the chaosness that's in the heart, in order to actually bring in something better. So again, decluttering, right? Out with the old and with the new. There's a lot of endings that are going on today too as well. So I felt like, so here's what the yin card says about today, which is there is something better. So that's what I'm playing off of when I say you're actually creating space for something better to come in. Also, you might even be realizing that what you've been asking for has begun to come in. Like, so if you've been asking for, and you were very truthful and honest with yourself to be like, oh, that's a fucking ugly ass table, you know what I'm saying? And like, you were honest with yourself and you even did something about it, but then the universe kind of like reversed a little bit to like, basically like they had you do a 1-2 step where it's like, you know, you went forward with it, you did what you had to do, but then the universe was kind of like, no, back it up. So, you know, you literally had to do a little dance where you didn't get your way, but like you had to just basically break a spell even if you didn't get your way, right? So it's kind of like by you taking the action for decluttering, you literally have received a way, even if it was taken back by, let's say, somebody else, right? So, but what's interesting is, and like you were able to let go, you were able to say like, fuck it, like this is not my issue anymore, I was just doing it for, you know, the highest and greatest good because nothing's fucking moving. So the movement that you're putting through is the decluttering. So long story short, today is a day where you might wake up and you might actually see some fucking change where you actually never thought the change would fucking happen. And the change is actually pretty something better is what I'm trying to say. So like the whole thing is like you might have seen like a change go on in your home that you're like, what the fuck took so long, right? But also the length of time that it took, it actually brought in something that was super matched up to like what it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, if you're out with the old and with the new, let's say we're talking about things, right? And it could be, you fucking got rid of a table because you didn't like it, right? And you knew that it was like, it was broken, it was fucking whatever, it needed to go, but somebody maybe in your world was hesitant to like let it go. So you were the one who took action, you said, fuck it, I'm gonna let it go. It might have happened through, calmness and or stormness. Doesn't fucking matter, you did your fucking job, and then all of a sudden, by you having moved it, you made room for an even better table to come along, of which you believe that the new table would come in, even if you didn't see it, even if you didn't have it right there, because as believers, we just move shit knowing that we're making room for the good shit, right? So the whole thing is, and I'm very grateful because I can say in this life, I have mastered decluttering for sure. I'm so on the side of decluttering and keeping it protected in terms of because decluttering is work. People don't realize that. And so my faith lies very strongly in the aspect that I know that God is going to replenish, right? And today he did. Like, it was so fucking wildly weird. So, and if you were to pick the table yourself, or if you would have seen it yourself, maybe you wouldn't have seen it yourself. Maybe you wouldn't have picked it out for yourself. But somehow, the universe through other people had brought it in, and now you have a fucking brand new table, and the fucking furniture and everything around it actually looks good together. You know what I'm saying? This could also be very much so coming through with romantic vibes as well, right? So you could have made room. It's so funny because at one point I realized that I was always making room for the person to come in, right? So I always had two of everything. But then I was getting intuitively to simplify things even more. So then I started getting one of everything, right? So like if you see, like usually I actually really like the number 3 and or 4. Like 3 or 4 is like my jam, like depending on like whatever, is going on. But 2 I'm super content with. Like even 1 I'm super content with. You know what I'm saying? But the universe has its reasons. So I just follow. I'm just a follower of the universe and its vibes, right? And so listener actually is coming through, which is super big deal, right? And I work very, very the word intimidated wanted to come out, but I'm gonna say I work very intrinsically and or focusedly with working with the universe in terms of what its energies are telling me to do, right? So I just felt like I had to reiterate that. I don't know why, but long story short, without resistance. That's what I wanted to say, without resistance. So that's what I work towards so much in my life, so that things can fucking just flow, because I love flow. If I can get flow and harmony out of every fucking scenario, and which I majority of the time do, that's why I feel like a lot of people fucking haterade, but at the same time, I work for that shit super hard, like super blessed up, like super investedly. Okay, maybe that's the word I wanted to say. I invest my time and my focus so super investedly to actually keep it going, right? And so, long story short, what I wanted to say here is that, I'm the follower of the universe, do what they tell me to do, and really kind of just stay detached to what the fuck is supposed to go down. You know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't go down my way, because a lot of us are stuck in that shit. Like, oh, it needs to go down in my way or no way. And I'm like, I've seen shit in my life, guys, like good shit, miraculous shit in my life, that like I would never even think would actually happen. And actually, I think around the 21st is when it started to come through, where you're like, holy fuck, I didn't know that that could actually happen in this life. Like, there's just, so like, I feel like the mind is being more open, as well as the heart, and as well as like your surroundings, in terms of like things being, again, matched up energetically, in terms of, and also when I say matched up energetically, here's what I want to say: in clean cut straight lines, if that makes any sense. So if you think about being neat, clean cut, simple, straight lines, dude, and you're a fan of that, that is coming through. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get more decluttered than that. You can't get more simplified than that. That's literally such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful vibe, right? And so that's what's like coming through, that you can actually see what the fuck, like, so you might be even decluttering, and or you might in my culture they say when you are straightening out, right? Like straightening things out. You might have been doing this for a few days now, but after you kind of pulled through in terms of straightening stuff out for yourself, you then are able to get straightened out lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just direct. And maybe that's what the whole line thing is about. Instead of like waves, the up and downs, it's like now they're straight, stable lines. Whenever I was talking about the tethering, it's like, okay, we're just going for it, right? So maybe that's the energy that's coming through. Even though Mercury is still in retrograde, we still have to like remember that. But I feel like there are those vibes that are starting to come about, where it's just like, in preparation to Mercury going direct, we are actually straightening out our environmental lines, right? Which is really beautiful. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's borders, maybe it's something, I don't know. Also, maybe it's also putting down some fucking clean ass boundaries, and they are now set in place, you know? So there's something better. So basically, life is definitely preparing you and putting you on the fast track. Oh, that came through today too. Fast track of receiving something better, which, thank you God, and thank you 18, thank you angels. I'm so grateful for that. Now, and if, again, on a yin or inner level, if you are fighting through some sort of chaosness, just know that that's going to get you to those straight lines, right? It's kind of like, you know, we're now talking about like, here's what I think. You know how when I was talking about like tethering or not tethering, sorry, what is it called? It's a T word too. Tesseracting, right? I don't even know if that's a thing. But with the tesseract, I was talking about it a long time ago, where I feel like we were in the tesseract, which kind of folds things up for us a little bit, right? So that we can get closer to what our, you know, maybe what we're going after, what our soul needs to go after. However, I feel like, you know, everything's temporary, so it's kind of like a harmonica, right? When a harmonica squeezes itself together, it's a tesseract, but then when it opens up and it gives itself like a deep breath, it's a line, it's a straight line. So I feel like whatever we are preparing for, whatever we are toiling at, amen to that, is what's going to give us kind of a more straight arrow forward, a faster type of, you know, receiving, you know, and or getting there, right? So the Midway Happy Way card is if you believe. And this is what I was laughing about before, because I feel like, you know, this like spirit can give you all this, you know, weird shit that you would be like, if taken at face value, you would be like, oh, this is fucking bonkers. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, you have to still pull through as you're fucking dealing with the bullshit and the insanity and the uncluttering and the decluttering and the fucking purging and the fucking like chaosness out of all of it, you still have to pull yourself through all of it along with your believing. So my whole thing is, when you are, you know, when you're going through the thick of it, just know that at the end, it needs to be you and your believing, along with, you know, aka faith and fun that needs to come out of it, right? In terms of seeing things on a lighthearted note, laughing at yourself, laughing at the whole matter of whatever the fuck you just went through. You know, as the saying goes, like, you know, in a couple of years you'll be laughing at this type of thing. But I know that in the moment it seems very attacking, right? It could be like as if like you're being attacked, but just know that just because you're being attacked doesn't mean, it could be that you're just going through a lesson a little faster, and that's all that it is. You know what I'm saying? So just keep telling yourself, I'm here to learn the lesson. I'm open to learning the lesson. I'm here for the lesson. I'm fucking taking the lesson, and I'm peacing out. That's also another fucking huge theme that's going on today, that people are willing to keep on telling themselves, I'm gonna learn the lesson here and I'm peacing out. The whole peacing out thing is actually like, I'm out. Like, you're cutting cords. You're, you know, with the judgment card also, or justice card, there's also it's air sign, right? But with the air comes the sword. So you're slashing, right? You're basically like cutting any and all cords that like don't need to fucking be there. Again, the energetic decluttering. You're doing it with the people that are within your family, within your surroundings, within, you know, any and all of that and more. And so today you kind of just had to say, like, I'm cutting these cords and I'm out. I'm cutting these cords and I'm out. And like, that's basically, I think, what you needed to tell yourself today, to let you know that you are here to do your thing. You're doing your thing. You've done your thing. And you're getting yourself revved up to fucking actually take the quote unquote leap and or tesseract short walk to the next fucking phase of your life. Like, this is enough, you know what I'm saying? And it sucks because here's the thing I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm seeing kind of like the world in a very weird way, like aroundness in a very weird way, and it's, I don't know why, I'll come back to that, but what I wanted to say here is that I feel like it's really weird because the people that you're dealing with, if in a perfect world where you would actually be open to loving them and receiving them as they are, right? Like, you were so close to actually enjoying each other's fucking, like, companies, but, like, since it was only left up to one person to, like, actually maybe make something of that relationship, and relationships really can't be left up to only one person, then literally it's like it might be, what I'm trying to say is that it might be very sad for that person who didn't realize the value of the other person that they had a quote unquote, I'm going to say forced relationship with, because if it's family, family is always kind of a forced relationship because you guys are like blood relatives, but it doesn't really, in my world, no, that doesn't exist. I don't fucking force shit. So like, my whole thing is, you know, you kind of might get down to the aspect of, you know, damn, like, you know, not if only they change, but more so if only they realized, or damn, if only I stuck around a little bit longer, we could actually have, you know, possibly a potential relationship, you know what I'm saying? And Spirit's confirming with that. So the whole thing is, it's like, so basically it's up to you, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, if I only chose to stick around for a little bit more, maybe the possibility out of this outcome would be that I would have a better relationship with this person. But the whole thing is, I think today's a championship day, by the way, with the 23, and a day of change too at the same time. So what you're doing is that, again, going back to the whole aspect of, you are one person cannot do the relationship. You know, to have a relationship, it takes two people to actually work at it and to actually keep revisiting it and to actually be there for one another, right? In order to have a quality one, or else what else are you fucking doing? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like today could be a day where you're really taking your sword of justice and you're giving it to yourself in terms of self-love, and you're saying, I'm not doing this anymore. So hence why I was mentioning the cutting of the cords, where it's like you could be related to somebody, you can be interrelated with somebody, you know, in terms of like, you know, interrelations, like you know, romantic or whatever, you like having a relationship with them, and you could literally tell yourself for today that, and not even for today, it's like for your today, but also into all of your tomorrows, is that, you know what, this can't work. This can't work. As sad as it is, as much as you don't want the ending, sometimes I actually heard, I can't repeat the meme back incorrectly, but there was a meme that I like, or like a quote that I ran into today that said something, now I can't, it definitely left me, but so the whole thing is, sometimes the lesson is to learn, sometimes the lesson that needs to be learned is that you have to detach yourself from that fucking person, right? That's happening. And I've been getting all these signs, and you know, I'm a very good reader at signs. Thank you, God. Also a super master at that. And so, a long story short, you know, I've been getting all these signs that, no, this is the time, because, you know, and interestingly enough, it's interesting because this also could be happening with people that want you to be a certain way, but they're not accepting you as the way that you actually are, and that you've actually kind of even stuck to, you know what I'm saying? So there might be a back and forth in terms of, again, this day having to do with championship type of changing. They might want to change you. You might want to change them. You might express, you know, you guys might be in the heat of the moment expressing each other, expressing yourselves to one another. Meanwhile, nothing's really happening because of the fact that you guys, you know, two people on two different wavelengths speak a different language to one another. They're never going to understand each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like if you are a mother, right? If you are a mother, and I'm gonna just put this out there. Like, let's say you're friends, right? And this could be mother, father. It doesn't matter. If you are a single person along, like, and this is completely depicted actually in Jersey Shore with Vinny and Angelina, where like they're the single ones, right? And everybody has a family. Everybody created their own family. But what they don't realize is that they're the fucking, even though shit's not going the right way for Angelina or whatever, let's not even talk about that right now, or ever. But for Vinny, he doesn't realize he's like the happiest fucking person there. You know what I'm saying? Yet he's just kind of, it's kind of like always Thanksgiving for him with the whole family, but at least he has like a friend fam to go to instead of just, you know, a regular fam, because that could be actually a little bit more depresso and or debilitating, because people just don't understand that shit. But at the same time, when you're alone, you're having fun, you know? So, even though Angelina did break it to him yesterday, was it? And Angelina was like, I think you like your me time a little too much, and that's why you're in it. But it's like, bitch, let him he fucking worked for his me time. Like, people work for their me time. Like, they make their fucking choices for their me time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, the whole thing is, and don't ever believe that if you have too much me time that you're gonna stay single for the rest of your life. No, that's not true. You're gonna go fucking different places with your me time. Like, you still gotta go eat, so you're gonna go out and eat. You're gonna go fucking take a car, a bus, a train, a fucking plane. Like, you're gonna be exposed to people that are gonna fucking meet you. Plus, if love is meant for you, which I bless everybody with it, it's never gonna fucking surpass you. So the whole thing is, it's like, shut the fuck up, all of you, and literally just let a bitch fucking live. Like, I have to like remind myself of that all the time. Not that I'm even hating on anybody else who has, you know, a family, who has created their family, of which is my age or younger and or older. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just saying it's two different wavelengths. Like, you have, like, and people will even, with families, they'll even say that shit too, like, oh, I have a family now, I can't really be doing this, blah, 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 right? So the whole thing is, it's like people from both sides already know that it's a different wavelength that you are on. Single people versus moms and dads and having kids, it's two different fucking realms. Not that they can't be a part of each other's worlds, but essentially, like, it just needs to kind of be what it is for right now, and then you come back together, like, for holidays and stuff. Like, it's a good thing to leave each other alone, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, it's a good thing to also accept one another in terms of where you're at in life. It's, like, not such a fucking big deal. A lot of people like to make it such a big deal, but it's, like, it's really not. But I can tell you right now, and this is hilarious, because I was prepping my shit for, like, my own business yesterday, and through paperwork I realized, I was like, holy fuck, and this is so like out of control in terms of, like, what the fucking truth is, but I was like, if people realized when they are in singlehood that there is so much to fucking do in terms of, you know, maintaining your own life and your own lifestyle as, like, a single person with a fucking business, which is also a different form of a child. Like, people don't realize, like, I'm never gonna fucking help people. Like, I really realized that. I was like, it's not that I'm never gonna help people. It's not that I don't want to, but it's like, I don't have the, I really, literally, there's not enough time to, like, be coming through for other people when I have shit to regulate on my own side. So, I don't know why I'm going into that, but there's a reason for it. But what I wanted to say here is I was laughing to myself yesterday because I was like, yo, paperwork and taxes, like, really made me realize this shit. That I'm like, there's so much to do. There's so much going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I don't even know how people are, and God bless you all for those of you that have kids, because I'm not a hater on kids at all. I just know, I have just been around kids for a very long time, knowing that they're a very big responsibility, and I already have major responsibilities, like, on my own back, and I don't know if I can handle any more. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, but we'll see. I always kind of wanted to foster a kid, if anything, but we'll see what happens. I'm that type of person, you know? So, long story short, but definitely not attached to any of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, like, throwing out ideas, but also throwing out the ways that energy works in this world. So, the whole thing is, the Yang card, I'm just going to turn to the Yang card because we haven't spoken about it, is, it's up to you. So, in case, and I know I didn't, actually. So, the Yin card is, there's something better. The Midway Happy Way card is, if you believe, and the Yang card is, it's up to you. Now, the way that I'm getting that it's up to you is that you are literally, like, there's an assertiveness there. It's up to you. So you're going to have to make some declarations today, and that's definitely loudly coming through. Declarations in terms of being assertive, right? One thing that I ran into this morning was Britney Spears, right? One of her videos leaked, and I was so appreciative of it, where she was talking to her two boys, and I guess, like, one of her boys, like, went into a ice cream shop in Alaska barefooted or some shit like that, and she was, like, fucking livid. Like, she was like, why would you do that? How would you do that? You know? And then she was livid at both of her boys, because the one did not, like, stand up for the other in a good way, you know? And, you know, honestly speaking, I loved her vibration because she was speaking truth. She was being very assertive, even though, like, I was talking about the dolphin energy today. People of dolphin energy might be just fucking piecing out of shit. Like, they're fucking coming in hot, telling you their shit and leaving. Like, that's, and their leaving is, like, super quick. Like, it's, like, more so, like, than you've ever kind of imagined it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, quote unquote, I know that dolphins are fast, but when I saw this fucking dolphin spit itself the fuck out of the situation that it could have possibly been in, because we don't see what goes on under the waters, which applies to us too, which is we don't see what goes on in people's backgrounds, right? But all we can do is we can read the energy of yo, I've never fucking seen a dolphin tip out so quick in my life. Like, I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't even know it was possible, right? And so my whole thing is Dolphin People, just like Britney Spears is like, I feel like she was expressing herself. She was also being attacked a little bit by like negative energies, because like her sons like really were a little fucked to her, and honestly in a very disrespectful way. But the whole thing is, I can't really judge that either, because maybe, you know, we don't know how she is in the background. I mean, she is a little kooky. We love her for it. Nothing, you know, nothing so crazy. But also, you know, maybe they might have anger issues too, because I know I have that shit with my own family. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, it's not something to judge, but in the moment it was kind of more so like a nastiness, because again, like I said, I read energies, so this was more a low vibrational negative energy, right? It was not a high vibrational negative energy in terms of being a rebel for in a good way, you know. So basically she was like, and the funny thing is, she was saying that she was being attacked for how she like she was a mom that didn't care, okay? And she was saying, no, I do care. And they were attacking her because they were like, you took our phone from us, and that's not how you show us that you care. So they were literally being like negatively, what is it called? Negatively manipulative towards her, because they couldn't accept the fact that they got in trouble and their actions, you know, have consequences, and she didn't fucking like it. And she was standing her ground. This is what I loved about her. She was cursing. She was like, and she was expressing herself vulnerably in a very direct way. And also, what these kids don't know, let me just tell you something, is exactly that is how you have to fucking be. Mothers have to be strict as fuck in terms of their energy, so that they can actually raise good fucking people. And the way that she said it was so fucking true, because she was like, listen, I took your phone, and that whatever you just did deserved for me to take your phone. Like, what is it called? Like for she was like, it right now, today, but also for weeks on end. Like, she said some shit like that, and I was like, this is so funny, because it's true. Whatever she's saying is true. She's speaking from her heart, right? Like, and she's trying to do good, and yet she's being attacked as if she doesn't care, and it came out kind of twice. But the thing is, if you're a believer, you fucking give a shit. That's all I have to say. And I don't know why those two are linked, but that is what's coming through with Spirit. She is a believer. She gives a shit. That's it. She doesn't have to fucking, you know, she doesn't have to fucking make other people believe that, you know? Even though she was trying to get through to her kids, thinking, you can sense a little like fear that she's like, oh fuck, what if they don't realize I do care? Then there's going to be even bigger problems, right? But the whole thing is, what she didn't realize is that in that moment is exactly what she needed to do so that she can raise better kids. And I commend her for it. And I don't give a fuck what her kids say, because her kids were fucking manipulative shits in that moment. I don't know how they are as people, but they were doing some fucking, you know, phony ass shit. And I didn't like it, because I don't know who has custody of them. But if it's the father, I was just sensing that if they're with the father kind of acts like this. And I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, kudos to her for having split up from him if that's the way he's behaving, because I don't feel like she's that nasty of a person, because she wouldn't be that loved, right? Like, that's what I feel. But honestly, that makes a lot of sense, but it's not always the truth too. You could be a love for your assholeness too. You know what I'm saying? So, amen to both ways in terms of being loved. But like, and I'm talking about, you could be loved for being like a negative asshole too. You know, where people like to fucking hear that shit. But at the same time, she's a superstar for a reason. She's super loved. You know. So why I wanted to bring that up, I think, is because it's up to you. And in terms of, taking the reins into your own hands. I think that's why I brought that up, because that's what she did in that moment. And that's what we all need to do in our own moments in this life today. You know, especially today, but also going forward. where it's like, it's up to you. You're going to be the regulator. You know what I'm saying? And the regulator has to come definitely, and I don't know if scrutinize is the correct word here, but like definitely scrutinize, no, scrutinize is not the right word. I was going to say definitely you have to be super, and here's what I'm going to say here also though. Here's where it gets crazy. You know, you have to be very real with yourself first and foremost to realize that if you are going against your own child who is of goodness, who is of a good, like, there's a positivity to them, right? That is consistent, you know? You have to really realize if you are the one being the resistor of being an asshole towards them for no fucking reason, okay? Because here's the thing. Everybody can be an asshole, right? But if you're being an asshole towards your kid in the wrong way because you're trying to quote unquote be the good parent that you actually don't have to be because you already have a good kid, you're being stupid. That super needed to come out today. I don't know why, because I think that's what I'm actually fighting in my own realm of a family, but also like mother to daughter. I think mothers need to realize that if they have good kids, that's what it is. But not only good kids to themselves, and not only like, oh, thinking that your kid is a bad kid just because they disrespect you when the truth needs to be fucking seen. Like in terms of like, I know like people, and maybe I'm actually more so talking to Libras because I've seen a very interesting scenario. By the way, going back to the little Britney Spears things, I just wanted to insert that, especially if you have guys as children, you need to be extra severe, just like she was in that, right? And what I'm saying is divine feminines. So if you're a mother that has a divine feminine as a child, and the child grew up into actually a great charactered person, and you see for a fact that other people are very, I'm not going to say impressed, but like more so very accepting of your kid in the outer world where it takes a village, like, so things come easier to your kid. You need to regulate yourself with not giving that kid such a fucking hard time, right? Because they are doing the shit that they're basically putting your fucking teachings into motion, and also even having leveled those teachings up a whole lot better. So my whole thing is, when you need to, here's what's coming through from spirit, cut some slack. And talk about cutting of the cords. I think that's what it is. Oh my God, that just fucking hit home. Holy shit. Is like, moms literally have to see their kids' worth for what the fuck it is, and cut them some fucking slack, is what I'm also trying to say. So take the fucking sword, cut the fucking slack of the fucking craziness that you're fucking like literally delivering to your kid, that is actually of goodness and showed up like to actually help a fucking, bitch ass mother out. And I'm gonna say that shit because of the fact that it's so annoying, because also the whole thing is you're making life so much more resistant, which is so much more harder than it needs to be. And that's only because the mother can be insecure, and the mother can be so super not happy with herself, but so super unhappy with the fact that their kid might turn out to be a little bit more intelligent. But what that's called is evolution. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be mad at evolution. You can't be mad at your own kid for grabbing life in terms of by the horns. Again, with the whole card, it's up to you. Your kid being strong enough to take life by the horns and fucking just go and fucking just learn the lessons and fucking just like show up and be the good person that she needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put more resistance on that, because there is a natural resistance in this world called rejection that everybody goes through. And if you put more rejection onto a person that literally doesn't fucking deserve it, especially a female, they're going to come out stronger, and you're going to be way more fucking pissed. And so my whole thing is just let it go. Just let it the fuck go. That's all you have to do. You have to let go. You have to fucking not be in that person's way. You have to let them do their shit, and you have to be, if you can't be happy for them, just let them fucking do their shit and remove yourself from them, you know? But the whole thing is, so many fucking people out there are like, no, they want to keep everybody at like fucking arm's length just so that they can observe them like a fucking zoo animal, and then also try to copy them. But the whole thing is, don't fucking wait for that shit, and don't even fucking create that type of environment, because my whole thing is, everybody's their own artist. Do it your own fucking way. If you don't know, if you're interested in knowing, then ask straight out. But don't try to like cage somebody for the fact that they're a little bit fucking different, and that they do life differently, and that, you know, they have figured out some shit that actually kind of keeps them afloat a little bit, and you can't seem to figure it out. So you're going to keep them at like arm's length, or you're going to keep them at on some sort of energetic leash to fucking just be the observer of it. No, humanize the fuck up. Ask them, have conversations. You know what I'm saying? This is not how you fucking treat another human being. But also, God bless, on TikTok I have learned that literally, what was it? It was like, you know, some voice, some audio came through where it was like, it said something like, if you think I'm a fucking, like, if you think I'm gonna hang around or whatever, if you think you're gonna be the observer of me, something along those lines, if you think you're gonna be the observer of me, I'm gonna give you a fucking show, right? And so that's basically what it is. It's like, I'm gonna give you a show. If you think that you're gonna fucking just sit there and just try to just watch me as like you know, and I remember another reader saying, you know, some people are there to just fucking watch you suffer. Some people are there to just like fucking wring your fucking energy out a little bit, in terms of, you know, having a hold on it, and or being, you know, type of like a vampire-esque type of shit, and or, you know, just kind of like again, like kind of twist your fucking energy a little bit where it doesn't need to be twisted, right? Like there's so many people out there that are manipulating their fucking, you know, ageist type of energy, of which like thinks of which, you know, has them thinking that they are now a natural leader, but yet they are diminishing themselves and their entire family at hand just because they're doing it in a very fucking unkind, toxic way. And it really all falls upon the aspect of their style just sucks, and they suck at thinking the way that they think, right? And they're not a good leader if they don't fucking, you know, if they can't do certain things. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, it's very interesting, the whole aspect of it all today, in terms of, you know, what cords need to be cut, and like what needs to happen for, you know, things to kind of move forward a little bit more quicker, you know? So again, it's up to you. It's up to you to take the reins today of your own life. Read the energy as it is, not how you want it to be, and not how, you know, how it could be worse, or how, you know, whatever. It's like this whole life is super fucking emo to me. But the whole thing is, it's like, it's also me having to take the power back, in terms of, am I going to sit there and mope and be like super upset like about how life is? And sometimes I do. Sometimes I absolutely give that to myself, because I'm like, I need to cry that shit out. I can't like have it weigh on me. But other times, you know, right after, you have to thank you, Spirit, you have to literally just like let it all go and continue on being the fucking, you know, quote unquote warrior you need to be in this life, you know? And I say warrior because it's a weird fucking thing. It's like, and I'm gonna actually stop saying warrior. Here's why. And I cut cords with the whole fucking warrior thing, because I feel like that creates resistance, where I have to, when I say warrior, that kind of, you know, what comes up is like, you don't like your life. You are having to just get through it. And that's bullshit to me at this point. It's like, I had to warrior it up through my life for a very long time. And not to say I didn't like it, but I know it could have been better, right? And the whole thing is, you know, now I'm going to take the power back into my own hands, because it is up to me. And I'm going to say that I no longer have to warrior it up. I literally, you know, clear cut, delete, cancel that shit. Anybody else who wants to warrior it up, God bless. Me, I'm not a warrior. I'm a fucking, I'm a lover in all different aspects of it. I want to live my life a whole lot more. I want to see the reasonings behind me, you know, getting to love my life a whole lot more. And I need to leave all that resistance of, you know, what I had to do in the past to get to this moment in time, to this present moment in time, which is a gift. I had to do a whole bunch of shit I didn't fucking want to. And maybe in the future, because life is never perfect, you're still gonna have to do it, but I am praying that it would be a lot less, right? Because of the fact that it's just kind of like, some of the shit is really unnecessary. Like, there's shit, and that's what gets me so fucking pissed off, is people expect, or maybe I even expected it out of myself, that, like, you know, if people fucking toss you shit that you know that is not really necessary in that moment, you now have to warrior it up and defend yourself. Guess who's not fucking doing that shit any longer is me. Because I don't even know why I did that shit in the first place, but it was more so me having to stand up for myself, which I think is pretty fucking important. And I'm still gonna do that, but more so in a way where I think that I'm gonna just release the giving a shit about it, and like letting people make their own fucking judgments about me, and hopefully it'll bring me justice. And if not, then I'm, you know, then it is what it is. Like, I just have to like let it go, you know. And so I appreciate you guys hearing me out today. Those are your 3 cards. I'm hearing I'm done, but then I'm also not done yet. So talk about Libra season, it's like a little bit of both. So let's just take a moment. I'm gonna just take a fucking sip of a break just to see what else comes through. Because I think there might be one thing that I didn't touch upon. The Midway Happy-Way card of if you believe, of what says if you believe, of what states if you believe. That's definitely coming through today. So I think what I was talking about at the beginning of this reading is well, the second thing that's coming through is habitual rituals, right? In terms of, you know, maybe actually today's a big day for planning, so maybe you might want to put down your goals and your rituals that you want to accomplish and win at, since today is the day of winning. Champions. Today's the day of champions. Also, I'm gonna say, I know this is like, I'm just gonna put it out there, keep believing. Keep believing, because something, I think, behind the scenes or under the emotional waters, like I said before, is coming through. And it is of the Happy Midway card, right? So I think that's one of your biggest jobs today to do is to just keep believing. And just know that if you believe one thing, it is, right? It's going to be that way in a negative way. If you believe it in a negative way, it's going to be that way. If you believe it in a positive way, it's going to be that way. Because, again, it's up to you. You call the shots today. That's the biggest fucking thing. And I feel like there's something really big here with a lot of like, oh, well, mental makes a lot of sense. So, you know, the purple chakra is more so the third eye of the mind. So we're now going into a season, or we've transitioned into a season of which rules the mind. So when you have a vision, it's really up to you to take the reins to fucking put yourself into that vision, to get your power and your energy matched up with that vision, or leveled out with that vision, so that you can literally easily walk across that little balance of a bridge, right? Bridge balance, you know, of which Libra is. And so my whole thing is, you know, you are making, I think today is more so, take the side of believing in the good. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep making that decision. It's counting me down, guys. I got 25 seconds. And so I just want to say, have a great day, and just know that even though if it looks shitty today, it's really, things are gonna work out for the best. So that's what you want to keep believing in. All right. So and you know, love will make its way in order to do that. Take care, guys. Bye.